In my 10th pre-board exam, I failed in 7 subjects. My mom passed away. Something happened that changed everything for me. We clocked revenues over 1 crore while we were sitting out of our college. Thank you. Hi guys, I'm Vaibhav Sisanti. I work as a marketing manager for Uber Latin America. I'm a growth consultant for startups, and I also make online courses on growth. Well, this is my story. I was never a great student at school. Well, I was that guy who was into too many things like robotics while I was in school, dancing, things like that, but something that I was not really great at was education. But I was not bad. You know, everything was going great. I had a mother who was the love of my life, like everybody's mother, and a damn strict dad. You know, the bad cop and the good cop thing, right? I remember my 4th grade. That was the last time I got 77% in my final exams, and I was in an ICSE school. Education was not even remotely easy. My parents were happy, so I'm assuming it was good, right? But right after my 4th standard, something happened that changed everything for me. The person who I loved the most in the world passed away. My mom passed away, and things from there went downhill. Things changed. I was an okay student, as I told you, but from being an okay student, I'd become this arrogant guy who was horrible at education. I think I was in depression, though I'm not really sure. I was too young to understand anything like that. I had become a tough guy who would not understand anything anybody would say. It was my way of doing things. By 10th standard, I had reached the stage where I'd stolen money from my dad's pockets. That was not it. I convinced other students to steal money from their dad's pockets. I had got beaten both physically and mentally, and things had gone like crazy. But in 10th standard, something happened again, which actually changed a lot of things from there on. In my 10th pre-board exam, I failed in 7 subjects. Yes, I failed in 7 subjects and got less than 30%. By the way, pass scoring is 40 and toppers get 90, just for your perspective. More than 90, right? Everybody was shocked, including me. But then I was not really bothered, as I told you. But my school was so shocked that my school actually thought that if they let me sit for the board exams, I might be the first guy in the last decade to fail in my school boards. And because of that, my school actually threatened me. I call it threatening because I'm assuming they would let me write the exam any which ways, but my school basically told me that, hey, you know what, we can't let you sit for the board exams because you failed and there's a very good chance that you'll fail again. And I was, I lost it all. I was actually scared. Like, this was the next level stuff that you don't expect, right? But then my father, being a Indian father, went on to the school principal, tried to hustle and get me a way around it. He did, but that was not directly the board exams. He got me a ticket to a new exam, which my school created for a small set of students who did horribly bad, right? And I was supposed to get a minimum of 40%. It was a tough exam again. I got 39, but they let me write the exam any which ways. But something that happened that day when my father went to school and spoke with my principal, that I can never forget in my life. My father comes back. My father is this guy who's super strict. He comes back to my house and he doesn't scold me. He came to me and he said one thing: do you want to give up education? If this is something that you don't want to do, just give up. I can open an internet shop for you. And by the way, I was good at computers for the age that I was in. And he said, I'll just open an internet shop and you can run it. I actually liked the idea, to be very frank. But you know what? This was for the very first time where I thought, after a very long time actually, where I took it as a challenge, because all of a sudden, everybody around me were questioning me, saying I'm not capable. And I didn't like it. I wanted to prove everybody wrong. But again, I'm the same kid who got less than 30%. But I said I'm going to give it a try. I told my dad that I will give it a try. And I did. I worked hard. I don't even know when was the last time I worked so hard for studies. For 3 months, I gave it everything, and there was never a time when my dad actually asked me to study. This was happening for 10 years, right? For 10 years, he was pushing me to study, and I wasn't. And for these 3 months, he was not telling me anything, and I was studying. I got 77 in my ICSE board exams, and I'm super proud of it. It's not a score that anyone would clap for or anyone would get excited for, but that was a lot. That gave me the kind of confidence that I still carry today. That basically proved the fact that I am capable. If I want to do anything, I can. And you can just replace this I with I am. That is you. You are capable. Everybody is. Right? That's what it proved me. I said, I can do it. That gave me the world of confidence. And guys, this is a short message that I want to give it away, that believe in yourself. Nothing is as hard as it looks like. You don't have to be the topper or you don't have to be the winner. You need to participate and give you 100%. That is all you have to do. Fast forward 2 years, like millions of students out there in the country aiming for an IIT or an NIT, where you settle down with a bits or a wit, right? That's what I tried to do. I eyed for an IIT. I thought I would settle with the NIT. I ended up getting into GIT, which is Gandhi Institute of Technology and Management, a beautiful campus in Visakhapatnam, right? I tried to make it. I tried to get into an IIT or NIT, but I couldn't. But this is where a lot of people think that if I am not into a good college, that is it. I'm going to have an ordinary life from now on. And that is what I didn't want to have. I took computer science engineering because I was decent at computers, and robotics, again, right, with computer science that comes in automatically. So CSE was a perfect fit for me. Now, 6-7 months down the lane, everything was going well, but something that used to bother me a lot was something that I'm sure a lot of you will share too. That is asking a middle class parent for pocket money. Every time you ask for pocket money, they have 150 questions for every small thing. If you want to go for a movie, they'll be like, why do you want to go for this movie? You went for a movie last week. I hated it. Again, right? But I wanted a solution. I said, you know what? I'm going to make my own money. It's easier said than done. But I was a guy who loved Android. Android was new back then. I said, I'm going to build a site on Android. I built something called as Discovering Android. And for that, I learned how to make websites. And end of the day, we have internet, we have access. Everything is a Google away. That's how I learned how to make websites. I made a website on Android, which was discoveringandroid.com, which was my first startup, and I was 19 years old. I had a 3-member team for this who made content. We pushed the content out, and Google, ranking on Google, which is really difficult nowadays, was damn easy back then. And again, with topics which are not very common. So we started ranking in no time. In 3 months, we were clocking 100,000 visits a month. But again, as you said, these claps are going to go down very soon, because in 3 months, I was able to generate 25,000 rupees in profits, which was great, which was a lot of money as a college student. But in the 4th month, Google, who was actually paying for the ads, banned us. They said, hey, I own Android. Google said, we own Android, and you're showing and you're teaching stuff to people on how to exploit Android. They said, this is not allowed, and they banned us out. So we said, we call it quits. It was it. That was it. We shut down discoveringandroid.com. Yes, I felt horrible. This was my first baby. People appreciated me for what I was able to pull in the first year of engineering, and it just had to shut down because I couldn't run it anymore. But there was a limelight. In everything that we do, there's something that you lose and there's something that you gain. What I gained was I learned how to make websites and I learned how to market. These were the 2 skills that I acquired. I said, I'm going to use these skills, nourish them, and come back again. For the next 7-8 months, I spent time learning. That's all I did. I'm in 2nd year of engineering. I've learned how to make websites. I said, you know what? Now is the time. I started a startup, Crazy Heads, with 3 of other friends of mine, and we were all set to rock and roll. But wait, where are the clients going to come from? We needed marketing. We said, you know what? We're going to do the biggest ethical hacking workshop the state has ever seen. We wanted to pack an auditorium of 1,000 people, and we wanted to make it the biggest. That way, we'll get enough PR to spread the word about the new brand Crazy Heads, and it'll get us clients, right? That's what we did. But we needed money. The best ethical hacker was costing us 3 lakhs, and the total event budget was about 5 lakhs. And now we had 20-year-olds, 4 20-year-olds trying to pull an event out, right? And back then there was no funding, nothing like that, right? So what we did was we went back to our parents and got 15K each, which got us 60,000, which acted as an advance to a lot of things. We said, all we have to do is get 500 students paying us $1,000 in each, $1,000 a person. Easy, right? We worked towards it. We created an army of students. I'm still proud of. I still remember those days where a bunch of 30, 40 students would go to every freaking college of the city and actually outside the city too to talk about our event. Our event tickets sold like crazy because we knew how to market. We said, go to Google and search for the best ethical hacker in the country. The guy who popped up was our speaker. So it worked brilliantly well. At least, again, right, discovering Android taught me a couple of things. That was marketing, right? The event, we sold 450 tickets in 2 months, 1,000 worth of ticket. It is no less money for a college student, right? We did it. 3 days before the event, we were super confident that we were going to make some money too. 3 days before the event, things go down again. Andhra and Telangana become 2 different states. As a result, riots break down. This might sound like a 2-state story, but it's actually true, right? Riots break down and all the colleges are shut for 4 weeks. We are screwed. Like, how do we work around with something like this? Now, we had 2 options, either to give up, go back to our parents. Our 1.5 lakh rupees was stuck, right? And that was non-refundable. We needed 1.5 lakh rupees to break the event and stop it all. There were 2 options, go back to our parents and ask for money and pay them back. Second was figure a way out. We chose the latter, obviously, right? We didn't give up. What we did was we realized that we have 450 people who had already paid the money, right? So we wanted to use them. What we did was we said, hey, you know what? We emailed and called all the 450 people and we reached them out on Facebook and we said, get us 1 pass, you get 200 rupees. Sell a pass of 1,000, you get 200. Sell 2-3 passes, you get a selfie with the speaker. Sell more passes, you get a certificate which will say you organized the event. It worked brilliantly well. 4 weeks, colleges were shut, we sold 400 more tickets. On the day of the event, we had 750 people packed in an auditorium and it was beautiful, more than 20 media publications. We thought we rocked it. We thought we were going to get hundreds of clients from now. Waited for a week, waited for a month, no clients. Why? Because they couldn't connect. And now, the other side of the story is we were doing digital media. We were making websites, we were doing branding. Who would hire 20-year-olds to build their websites? Why should they? In 6 months, we did only 2 clients, paying us a total of 30 to 40,000 rupees. And obviously, it's not going to work out. I had a bunch of students who were trained and craving for work. But we had no way out. I said, you know what? Again, I wanted to give up too many times, saying, yaar, koi sun hi nahi raha baat. I can't even pitch. The moment they listen that I'm a college student, they would just let me go. It was not working out. So I said, I'm going to do work for free. For next 6 months, we did work for free. There are times when we have to take a pitch down and do things that we think are not good. And that's what we did. It eventually worked out great. The referrals kicked in. In next 18 months, we worked with more than 100 clients all over the world. Basically, I cleared my education loan before I cleared my college. That was the beauty. We clocked revenues over 1 crore while we were sitting out of our college dorm rooms. That's what we were able to do. 6 months down the lane, college is done. All my friends are placed. I'm running this huge thing called as Crazy Heads. I had a super cool office with table tennis boards, Xbox and beanbag, and we were the talk of the town. But then there was something that was bothering me. I was 21 years old. I had the world of money. Money was no more a motivation for me. I was craving to learn. It has become so easy that if I walk into 10 meetings, I would close 7. It was no more fun. I wanted to learn. And that is when a friend of mine was applying for Uber. She wanted to apply for Uber, and I said, you know what, I'm going to take some time out and we'll travel with you so that I get some time to think. I needed a getaway. I applied with her. She never got a call. I got a call. But all the interviews were supposed to be online. So I said, you know what, I'm going to take it. It's going to be fun. If I make it, I can tell my clients that I got a job at Uber and I didn't take it. That would be cool, right? So that's what I did. I went through the rounds of interviews and I made it. I joined Uber as a city coordinator. It was a lot of fun role, but when I walked into eventually I realized I'm working with people who are studying IIMs, IITs, from big school MBAs like Stanford's, Harvard's, and I was a non-MBA from a very regular engineering college. But this is what I realized. They are no different. They are just people like us who are better at some other things. They're better at things that we are not good at, which is fine. We are good at something else. And I said, that's okay. I'm going to think out of the box and I'm going to do things which others haven't. I tried to do things out of the box. And in 1.5 years, I was promoted as a marketing manager when I was 23. So guys, this has been my story so far. There's something that I strongly believe in and I want to spread the message. That is, stop trying to tick boxes. You don't have to be good at everything. You don't have to be good at what your friends are good at. Forget about it. Ditch it. Work on things that you are good at. I'm an engineer by degree doing something that MBAs do, marketing. Don't get constrained by degrees. Don't get constrained by degrees. Don't get constrained by marks. Do things that you love. Things will follow. Thank you.
Tell us what you think about this video and don't forget to like, share and subscribe.